Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. My name is Hazik, and quite the crash on the markets. But as always, we are going to be dollar cost averaging. We're trying to use this opportunity to fill up our altcoins, to bring down those average buy-in prices, and so on and so forth, because in a few months' time, people will regret the fact that they did not buy at this dip. This happens every single time. This happens every single time there's a dip. People complain about the prices dropping, and then sometimes they wait for them to drop even lower. And those who do buy are going to reap the rewards, so to speak. So I just want to switch over to the Bitcoin chart real quick and show you what's going on. So this is the weekly chart, and I did an in-depth video on Bitcoin on our Patreon, which is linked down below in the description. So feel free to check that out. You have a 7-day free access to all of the content that we have there on Patreon. So if you want to see if you like it, if you like our low caps, if you like our portfolios there, you can stick around. If not, then of course to each their own. Alaikum salam, Crypto Princess. So we are looking at this 5-wave structure right now, and as you can see, the top of wave 3 was in April 2024, and right now we're looking for that wave 4 bottom. And as long as the wave 4 bottom is going to be above the wave 1 high, which is over here, then we should be good to go. So the wave 1 high is $31,000 approximately. So technically speaking, we can go down as low as $35,000. We'd still be good. I don't think we're going to be going down that low. I think this support block that we have here between $50,000 and $46,763, that area is going to be our sort of last ditch support block. I don't think we're going to drop below that, if I'm being honest. Ideally, we would have held the 20 EMA, but we had such a strong and crazy move to the upside here that something had to give, and obviously we're crashing now. And this is a good opportunity for everyone to look at their altcoins, especially if they're down 50 or more % from their average buy-in. This is a good time to top up those holdings. Of course, not financial advice. You can see we have the 55 EMA sitting at $50,000. That is going to be a very crucial support level for us to hold on the weekly chart. A very similar thing happened back in 2022 in May/July, where we dropped below the 20 EMA. We held the 55, and from there we rallied to another bull market top. And the same thing could play out here. However, in this case, it's not going to be a double top bull market, but rather we're going to have a wave 5 that will take us probably above $100,000 to $110,000. So if you look at the 1.618 here, the technical target, that would be around 138,000. But I would be more conservative, and I'd look at $106,000 for now, just to be conservative. And then if we pass that real quick, then we can continue taking profits as we go. But make sure to set up some targets for your altcoins. You definitely don't want to be going into the wave 5 with a blindfold, expecting to sell at the exact top like some people are doing. You're going to get burned that way. Now, this is the monthly chart on Bitcoin. And you can see we have the 10 EMA on the chart, which is the blue line over here. So that's the 10 EMA. And if we go back to, once again, May/July 2021, you can see we held that 10 EMA perfectly, and we had a bounce from there. After we lost the 10 EMA on the monthly chart, that was essentially your bear market confirmation. If we look at the 10 EMA specifically, we did have a quick crash below the 10 EMA back in March 2020. That was due to a black swan event. So technically this doesn't count, because we did recover very quickly. And again, this was an unforeseen event, which again could happen in the next year or so. We don't know. But if it does happen, again, that's going to be a really good opportunity to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. So essentially your bull market started over here. You know, you could say February 2019, right? But we did crash back down to almost the same levels in March 2020. So you could say your bull market technically started in February 2019, because that's when we got above the 10 EMA until we broke down below it in January 2022. So in this case, we got above the 20 or above the 10 EMA in March 2023. So technically that was your bull market confirmation. And you can see that the 10 EMA had an EMA squeeze with the 55 EMA on the monthly. So the 10 EMA just bounced off the 55 and off we went. So technically speaking, our bull market here started in January 2023 for Bitcoin. Other altcoins bottomed out sometime later in June, August 2023, some of them in June 2022, some of them in December 2022. It's a per case basis. But if we're talking about Bitcoin specifically, then January 2023 would be the bull market start for Bitcoin. And if we top up somewhere in May 2025, that's going to be a good 2 years and 5 months for a bull market run. We'll see if we can have that. We'll see if we have a top sometime in the first half in 2025. I was leaning more towards the first half of, or like the early months of 2025 / the end of 2024, due to the fact that we were pumping very, very quickly here. But since we are seeing a correction, we could potentially have this correction come back, take us down to $40,000, let's say. And even then, that's not going to be anything like the correction we had here in 2021. That's 54%. Right now, we only dropped 26%. So this is half of what we did in May 2021. That was very scary. But this right now, this is child's play. So we'll see how long it takes for us to bottom out. After we start pumping here, after we start breaking above $71,000, we can be sure that we're more than likely than not, we are in our wave 5. So that's the quick update that we have for Bitcoin. Let me know if you're buying any altcoins right now. Good evening from the United States. Hello there. Hello, Elorm. How are you doing? Perfect. Well, see, maybe I'll share the interview on my channel if you'll be down with that. Arif S, hey there. Muhammad Abdi, A0, please. What is causing the current dump? For the most part, is the empty Gox FUD, with them paying out their customers. Okay, let's take a look at A0, and then we'll go through some coins that I think are worth looking at. Okay. That's the monthly. We can take a look at the weekly. Yeah, this is not very good, if I'm being honest. We're looking at A0. Yeah, not very good, because we are losing a pretty significant support level. So we had support here between 80 cents down to 67 cents. And we bounced off that level multiple times. So back in June 2022, seemingly that was our bear market bottom. And then once again in October, same year. Then once again in September, October 2023. Then once again in April 2024, we had a brief bounce. And then the 10 EMA on the weekly chart just sent us back down. And we broke below the October low. And that is quite negative, because right now, essentially, we're printing new bear market bottom lows for a Aleph 0. What we can do is we can set up a fib And you can see our technical target to the downside is going to be 44.5 cents. So this could be our bottom for now at 44 cents. You could also target the second fib level at 32, 33 cents in case we continue dipping. Because if Bitcoin starts dropping below, $50,000, we get to $45,000, altcoins are going to crash hard. Just be ready for that and be ready to buy more if you have some dry powder. But depends on how bullish you are on the project, because if you're not sure about it, I would not be buying it right now, to be honest with you. But if you're certain that this is something that you want to invest into, you're super bullish on it, then definitely these are good buying prices. Hazik, in my portfolio, I have Near, Render, AVAX, Optimism, Nakamoto Game, Ethereum, Pyth, total 100,000. Do you think I can make 1 million with these coins I have? Well, it depends on the entries, right? It depends on the entries, because if you bought into everything right now at the local tops from April, May, or April, March, then I don't think you can make a 10x from. Actually, again, I have to take a look at the entry prices. If you want, feel free to message me on Telegram and I can give you a few of the tips that I think could help you, or just give you my overall opinion on the portfolio. Your favorite RWA, please. Well, we looked at Centrifuge a lot of, multiple times on our channel, and Ondo right now is a pretty good one. We also have Mantra, which is something that I got into recently. We had a trade alert regarding that on Patreon. So yeah, those are the three that I'd probably be looking into. There are some other ones, of course, some of the lower cap ones. But I'd look into, if you want a safe good entry, then I'd go into Ondo and Mantra. Those are higher cap coins or mid cap coins. And then you also have Centrifuge. Actually, Centrifuge is sitting at 44 cents. Yeah. So we were buying Centrifuge at these prices here throughout the bear market. Let's see what is Centrifuge doing here. Essentially, it's retesting its August 2022 high, which is exactly what we needed to do. Because that was a major level that rejected us. We got sent back down to our bear market bottom in December 2022. And we're bouncing off the 0.5. So worst case scenario for Centrifuge, you could be looking at 30 cents here. But still, the chart looks very bullish in comparison to all of the other coins that are dumping below 60%, which is crazy. So something I want you guys to look at as well is Polygon-matic. This is dumping. As you can see, we are potentially going to come back down to our June 2022 lows. So if you want to take a look at some entries, we did dollar cost average into Polygon-matic as well. Once again, our trade alert is out on Patreon. If you want to see which coins I got, feel free to join the Patreon for free. So Polygon-matic is a coin that I'd look into. And then a lot of people are asking about Near protocol, especially when it started pumping here. A lot of people were asking about Near and what to do and should I buy. Well, right now, this is a good buying opportunity. I gave you multiple updates. I told you that below $4.50, you have really good entries. And, we perfectly dipped below 450, below the 55 EMA here. As long as we stay above the 55 EMA, we should be golden for Near protocol. And look at this perfect bounce off of that level and off of that level there. And we held it as support briefly in 2022. So if we keep bouncing off of this white trend line here at $4 or $3.85, we should be in a good consolidation phase for Near protocol before we have our next leg up. And if we take a look at the chart here, this is only our wave 1 for a new protocol. We're looking at the wave 2, and then we have our wave 3, which could potentially take us to new all-time high prices. Then we have our wave 4, and then wave 5. So that's our potential scenario for Near Protocol, one of my top holdings. So I'm very bullish on Near Protocol. If I did not have any, I would be buying right now, to be honest with you. But our entry point is somewhere at $1.50 here. Once again, we were buying during the bear market on Patreon. All of the buy alerts were available, and we were sharing all of the purchases with our community. So let's see. So Mantra is the other one that I actually, is Mantra available here? Yes. Actually, is this the same? Yep. So Mantra is something that I got into. Yes, it did see quite a parabolic move to the upside. Look at that, 6,000%. However, I did not put a huge amount into it, and we have been consolidating for quite a while. So we entered, I believe, did we enter at 70 something cents? Yeah, just above the 20 MA essentially on the weekly chart, which we are holding right now. But massive move to the upside from below 2 cents all the way up until $1 almost. And if we're looking at targets to the upside, so we're looking at $5.70 here for Mantra as our technical target. So from here, that would be roughly a 530% move to the upside. Okay, let's switch over to the CoinMarketCap website. Okay. And I just want to go through the actually we can just take a look at these here. So Altura dropped like crazy. %. I mean, that's a really good entry point. I would definitely get some Altura. We have A-Star dropping, which is going to be like sort of the Japanese hub for NFTs and crypto in general. Let's see, Band Protocol coming back down to the lows here from October 2022 and August 2023. Another good entry point. Crust Network coming back down to the same lows from November 2022, October 2023. Polkadot still printing a higher low. It's actually doing better than some of the other coins. Eagled printing a higher low. Yes, it did drop quite a bit, but it is printing a higher low, so it's doing good. GraphLink, as you can see, holding 6 cents, just wicking below it. If you want to get into this, feel free to look into the project. This is a low cap that we've been getting into since, since 2 cents or since below a cent, I think. Yeah, since below a cent. And then we had this massive rally to 20 cents. And then IMX is something that I'd look into. Really good entry point for IMX. And then also for all the Ocean Protocol, AGIX, and Fetch holders, the merger has happened. So now you should receive your tokens on Binance if you're holding them on Binance. As to other exchanges, I'm not sure yet. And then you have Nakamoto Games, which is something that I got into recently. Orion Protocol holding its own pretty well. Pocket Network still printing a higher low here. I think 4 cents is as low as we're going to go, which is the 786 here. But let's go to CoinMarketCap. Solana doing pretty good. I mean, if you watched our videos back in 2022 on Solana in November when we had that massive crash, we dropped down to our support levels at $8/12. We had a few levels there, and if you held throughout this bull market that Solana is in, then congratulations. Ton holding its own very well. Cardano doing whatever Cardano does. Avalanche, Chainlink is holding up pretty good. Uniswap, it's doing okay. It's doing okay. So this is the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. So the ticker is going to change, I believe, soon to ASI. And I think they're going to add more tokens to the circulation, if I'm not mistaken. There should be more tokens. All tokens to be consolidated to create a universal AI token. The ASI, find more. This is very bullish. Like, if you haven't bought this yet, just feel free to look into it. And this is really bullish for the AI narrative. I wish this happened during a, AI phase, right? Or AI mania phase. But, it is what it is. And then Render sitting below $3 billion. I'd look into Render if you want a safe mid-cap altcoin. Cosmos dropping below $6. Good entry points for Cosmos. I'd look into OKB. This is actually a pretty decent exchange. Stacks, something that you can look into. Injective did drop below, I believe, $16. Let's take a look at Injective real quick, because this was another good entry for us on Patreon. So we got in at like $1.40. But it did drop slightly below $17 actually. So we're still holding $18.43, which was our previous top here. If you go to the daily chart, I think it's going to show up nicely. So yeah, if you're looking to get into Injective, anything below $20 is a good entry if you're looking for a safe altcoin. But if you're expecting 100 to 50x from this thing, I would probably say you have to reorganize your targets for Injective, because if you haven't entered here, then don't be expecting 100x from Injective. I just bought all-time high Aether in this dip. Do you think it's worth buying this project? Let's take a look at that. I think I looked at it before. Sounds familiar. 257, 9% circulation. That's not very good. Okay, just came out. So this is a DPIN coin, advanced distributed enterprise grade GPU. Compute infrastructure tailored for AI and gaming. Aether aims to serve enterprise AI clients who need the world's most powerful AI chips, such as NVIDIA. Okay. Let's take a look at the website. Unlock the potential of artificial intelligence. The website looks nice. Okay, so this was airdropped. Okay. Staking. We have to look deeper into this to see if there are any VCs that have a bunch of tokens that could start dumping. Let's take a look at their Twitter. Is the team transparent? Okay. Yeah, the team is transparent. That's good. That's really good. Let's take a look at the unlock schedule. So you're saying you just bought this thing, right? Okay, so the team got 12%. That's locked. Nodes 50%, airdrop 6%. Okay, let's see. So July 12th is the next unlock. So it's going to be on the 12th of each month. Doesn't look like there's going to be too much token dilution, to be honest with you. Like by the end of the year, you're just going to be sitting at 10%, more than 10%. Yeah, and right now we're seeing it 9%. So let's do a chart. As you can see, it's gonna be pretty decent, and then it'll pick up a bit in 2025, and then it's gonna get even steeper in 2026. So in terms of the unlocks, it's not too bad. And then here's the team. Let's take a look at the fundraising. Clips Fi. Hashkey Capital. Okay, I'd expect Coinbase or Binance to be one of the investors, but seemingly not. I mean, looks all right for now. Obviously, I'd have to look into the project a bit deeper, because a few minutes of just surface research is not going to give us a solid answer. However, it doesn't look like a scam, which is good. 900,000 followers, that is quite a lot. Yeah, I looked at it before. Seems the name is very, very familiar, so I am following them already. Yeah, but in terms of the price, let's take a look at the price. Because it just came out, right? There's not a lot I can tell based on the price, but it's been a sideways channel for this entire month, and did see a bit of a dip here, but not too much. It was sitting at 7 cents, dipped to 6 cents, not even a powerful crash. So if I was bullish on this project and I did not have any tokens, I'd probably buy a bit right now, and then if we dipped lower, I would buy more, because it is very possible for this thing to go lower since the markets haven't bottomed out yet. Okay, OKX is probably where I would be getting this bad boy. I love the OKX exchange. Really good exchange. So Polkadot, we'll do a separate video for Polkadot, and Osaka. Let's take a look at Osaka. Osaka Protocol, I assume. Is that a meme coin? Come on. Come on, guys. September 20. I mean, yeah, I don't dabble in meme coins, unfortunately. So, but for Polkadot, stay tuned. We'll have an update video over this weekend. I'd love to look at Chainlink if possible. Sure. Let's take a look at Chainlink. It's pretty much doing what a strong altcoin should be doing. So look at it, holding that support block that we gave you on the weekly chart. Very powerful. Look, yes, we did see a wick. We talked about this potential wick down to that purple block from $10.30 to $11.60. However, the candles are closing right above $13.20. And that is really good. That is this low from January 2024. Really powerful from Chainlink, holding its own very, very well. And this is our wave 4. Okay, so if we take a look at Chainlink, we have our wave 1, wave 2, this entire thing, because this is the count that you see here is just a smaller one, but you can take this entire thing as a wave 3, then you have your wave 4, and then potentially your wave 5. So we could see a local top for Chainlink closer to the end of the year, maybe, because Chainlink likes pumping on its own. It did that during the previous bear market, and it had a pretty good move here in 2023 into 2024. So yeah, this one actually I like a lot more. So it's all about finding the wave 4 bottom for now for Chainlink. I don't. It's hard to say because it's unlikely it's going to go down below $10 again, right? We had this massive accumulation phase. I would probably set up some buy limit orders between $11.50 down to $10.20 and just hope the wicks fill out my orders. That's it. But at the current levels, probably wouldn't be buying Chainlink at the current levels, but it's holding its own very well. So congratulations to all the Chainlink holders. Hazikai from Canada. More or less, you can tell how much ETH can fall. Well, we can investigate the potential support levels that ETH would be looking at. Okay, let's take a look at this chart. Okay, so this is the weekly. I mean, ETH is doing pretty good. Just a 31% correction. Right now sitting at 25%. I mean, the lowest I would expect Ethereum to go is to retest the golden ratio here. Just going based on the fib. So that would be $2,000, 646. And then you have this level over here, which you did just retest at 2,912. That was also a really good entry point. I don't own any Ethereum, but I might buy some after this bull market. I might buy some Ethereum after we have the next bear market crash and we kind of bottom out closer to the bottom of the bear market. Hopefully, I'll pick up some Bitcoin, I'll pick up some Ethereum, but at the moment, I don't own any Bitcoin and any Ethereum. But in a healthy scenario, we would be holding 2,900. And then 2,639 would be your support in case we continue crashing here. But Ethereum's been doing pretty well. Like if we continue bouncing up and down between these levels, this could be a nice sideways channel for us to break out of in the next few months. We're closer to Q4, which is going to be September, October, November, and December. But I'd definitely be filling up my bags if I'm bullish on Ethereum and I'm, a long-term bull on Ethereum. I'd definitely be buying a bit at the current levels. Just quickly going back to Chainlink, conservative link high this cycle. Let's take a look at Link once again real quick. So conservative, if you want to be conservative, we can just switch the fib slightly lower. Oh, that's the wrong tool. So conservative would be $56.73 there. If you're looking at conservative. So what we did is we took this May low from last year and this top from November 2021. So that would put us at $56 as the 1.272 after you start breaking above that, which is very close to the all-time high. And then you have $73 as your 1.414. Now, to get to $73 from the current prices, that's going to be close to 6x from the current values. Realistically, we could be looking even at $98. This is quite possible from Chainlink. 630, but we'll have to see how fast we break above the all-time high, because if Bitcoin is sitting at $120,000 and Chainlink is just starting to break above the all-time high, then you might want to take profits, closer to the all-time high prices, like right before it and right after, and then leave 10 to 15% of your holdings in case you continue pumping. However, if in the next few months, let's say we start pumping Chainlink specifically, and we get to the all-time high prices before even October, November, then we can start expecting $98 in the first few months of 2025. After we have the Fed cutting interest rates and that whole thing that's going to prompt up the markets. If not, then yeah, I would be expecting 56, which would be the 1.272 we just looked at, and then $73. Those would be your conservative targets for Chainlink. And if you're being conservative, it's always good to take profits at the previous all-time high. That's always a good thing to do. And you got some ADA at 32.5. Nice. I do own some ADA. I think my average is at around 25 cents or something like that. But I didn't get any ADA during this dip. So let's take a look at PYR. I keep forgetting what's that project. Oh, it's Vulcan Forge. That's right. Okay, 56%. I know. Okay, it's available on Binance. That's good. Let's take a look at the price action. So the market cap is below 100 million, so this is considered a low cap. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, so we are dropping below the 1.618 there. And right now you are targeting $2.56. We did some TA on it back in the previous live streams. And this is what we gave you, this fib. Now I can outline a nice level here. Just give me 1 second. So just like that, as you can see, we had multiple bounces from this block in 2022, in 2023. The last one was in October last year, and from there we pumped like crazy. We also had this descending resistance trend line that we broke above. And right now we're coming back down to that exact same block, and we're wicking below it even. So technically speaking, we even printed, well, almost printed a new all-time low, did we? Yeah, we're just below this low from November 2022. Again, it's a wick, so it's not the end of the world. As long as we close the candle, if we close it above the 1.618 on the weekly, that would be perfect. But if we close it somewhere above this block, that's also not the worst thing ever. It's a low cap, so it's very, very likely that these coins are going to be dropping 60 to 70 to 80% during massive corrections. Look at this, 75%. But what's important for us right now is that we don't lose this block, because if we do lose this block over here, that is going to be bad news for us. So what we do in that case is we move this down here, and then we're looking at $1.96.5, $1.62.5, and $1.23.5. But for now, we haven't done that yet. So look at the RSI. It's doing good on the weekly. And once again, we're close to the oversold here on the daily RSI. So a good buying opportunity for the holders of PYR and for anyone looking to get into the project. Definitely good buying opportunity because mathematically speaking, every time we came back down to this level, we had a bounce to the upside. So even if you're looking at a short-term to mid-term trade, you're going to be fruitful with this one, just mathematically speaking. No worries, my friend. Hey there, Thamer. Can you please check MBOX, made new lows, any expectations for upside, and what are the targets for bull cycle? Okay, let's open up MBOX. $67 million market cap. Not a lot of token dilution I can see. This thing is listed on Binance already. That is a good thing. So what is this, like a gaming platform or? Okay, doesn't explain what the project does here. It's like a gaming farmer or something. I'm not sure. Tournament seasons, Clash of. So I think this is just a platform that has a bunch of different games on it. And they all share the same utility token, which is the MBOX token, I'm pretty sure. Okay, 57. Let's take a look at the unlock schedule here for MBOX. There isn't one. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time searching for that right now. But it doesn't seem like the selling pressure is there from the unlocks if they are selling. It's not significant. But in terms of whether the project is bullish or not, like it's really hard to tell that based on a quick look. So let's take a look at the charts instead. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, it's printing new lows. That's not good. Okay, this is the weekly chart. And as you can see, we're dropping below our low from October 2023. So right now, our technical target is going to be at 11.5 cents, only if we close the candles below. As you can see right now, we did wick below. However, if the candle closes above 21.21, which is that target there, then we're good to go. This would be a nice double bottom pattern for us with a target to $1.44. If this actually plays out. But if we continue dipping and we start closing candles below the first fib level, then yeah, that's not good. Of course, we do need to break above that August 2022 high. That's precisely what sent us into this bear market, or this death spiral, you could say. Just a nice level there that we back tested as resistance multiple times, then as support, and then we lost it again. So this was like a broadening descending wedge that we started breaking out of. But yeah, if you're not sure about this project, then I would just be careful buying into it right now. If it dips, below 16 cents, then yeah, sure, I'd buy some even for a quick trade because it's going to bounce up definitely. But it hasn't broken above the August 2022 high yet. So I'd be careful, especially since it's a low cap. So I can't really give you any targets because we haven't even broken the trend, technically speaking, for MBOX. We're still printing, lower highs and lower lows. So this is a crucial moment right now for the chart. And what about the RSI? The RSI is coming down pretty low, so that's good. It's resetting, but we were overbought here in March, just 3 months ago. I'm holding 10K Ondo right now. Is it a good decision to sell all of them? End of the bull run. Your suggestions will be appreciated. And well, talking about selling at the end of the bull run, I will be selling all of my altcoins. Okay. And hopefully I'll sell most of them before the peak. I don't want to be catching the peak by any means. But I'm not planning on holding any altcoins after the supposed bull market top whenever we get that. Because after that, we have a crash, we have a bear market, and I just don't want to be a part of that with my filled bag. So once I take profits, we have a bull market top, we have a crash, and then roughly 6 to 8 months, we print a bottom or one of the first bottoms. And that's when I'll start probably getting into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then some of the higher cap altcoins, and then moving down the list from there. But I would definitely suggest selling everything. Even if you have Bitcoin, there's no point of holding something if you know it's going to crash at some point later, right? If Bitcoin is sitting at $150,000, I mean, you don't have to, but if you know you can sell it at 150 and then buy back, let's say even at $80,000, that's quite the trade there, especially if you have a large amount of coins. But it's definitely good to sell everything before we're done. And your targets, please, for Ondo. Let's take a look at Ondo. Like I said, I just got into Ondo, and the patrons got the trade alert first. It's a mid-cap portfolio here, or mid-cap, sorry, market cap. 1.4. And yeah, it's a recent project from January 2024. But 1.4 billion, this could easily do a 10x in the RWA narrative. That's not going to be too much of an issue. So let's get rid of that and let's switch over to Ondo. Actually, no, that's perpetual. We don't want that. Tether on KuCoin. Yeah, we looked at this before, of course. So right now what's happening is we're coming back down to this support block that I gave you. I think this was set up on the weekly. That's why it's a bit off. Let's switch it to the daily fractals. And here we could use this. Okay, so we have our local top from June 2024 and the local bottom from April 2024. So we're coming back down to the 0.5, which is what we retested here as support. And this was our resistance back here. So we kept bouncing off of it as resistance, right? And then we had a backtest of support here in May. From there, we printed a new all-time high, and we're coming back to retest it as support from above, which is good. And if we want to set up a Fibonacci retracement, then we'll have to wait until this bottom has played out. So it would depend on where we bottom out, of course. If the bottom is going to be, let's say, somewhere at 80 cents, then we're going to set up the fib this way, and you'll be looking at $2, $2.62, and then $3.35. Now, because we don't have a complete previous cycle for this token, we can't really set long-term targets. So we'll just have to continue going off of these short-term fractals. And then later on, once this cycle has played out, let's say we go to like $10, whatever it may be, and then we start dropping, and then we print a bear market bottom, then we'll be able to set up a fib with the local bottom and the all-time high, and then we'll have our targets in advance for the next bull market. As of right now, we can't do that, so we'll just have to keep going off of our local lows and our local tops. Also, just a quick side note, if anyone has been sending their Polkadot tokens, to gate.io. And if you've had any issues with that, let me know, because I'm having some issues at the moment, or rather one of my patrons is. So I just want to get some clarifications from someone if you've had the same problem. But Ondo is looking good right now. The lowest I can see us going in a bullish case would be back down to these lows from April 2024. So that would mean we could drop another, 35%. So that would take the market cap below 800 million. And this is definitely where I would be buying more tokens. So this would be a really good buying opportunity. But again, if we're looking at a 10x, then around $10 could be a good target for us to look at by the end of the bull market. But again, the narrative is really bullish. If things change, just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for Ondo. Now we have Polkadot and Manta. So Polkadot, like I said before, we're gonna do a separate video for Polkadot, and Manta is good to look at right now, actually. So I do have some Manta, but I haven't dollar cost averaged during this correction yet. 82 cents. So where's the $281 million market cap? Ignore the holdings there. Those are not mine. So that's not my holdings. A lot of people are disappointed with the fact that it's dropping, but this is what happens with newer projects. You have to understand. And this is something that I talked about when we initially looked at it. So look at this fib, and we're dropping below all of the fib levels essentially here. We're losing all the fibs. So it's really hard to predict. It's really hard to predict the actual bottom when the project is fresh. We don't have any previous history, right? It's really, really hard to do that. That's a nice resistance level there. So I can't really give you, a specific bottom for Manta, but if you're bullish on the project, I would be buying it as, look, it's losing everything. You can't even properly see what the bottom is. So as long as we bottom out and we create some sort of a support level, then we can actually start setting some targets to the upside. But as of right now, we just need to see what our bottom is going to look like. From the top here in March, we're down approximately 81%. So if you've been buying at $2, $1.50, then this is definitely a good time to bring down that average buy-in price. And what was the market cap again? I believe 280. So yeah, I mean, a 10x from the current prices is definitely possible for Manta, just to be conservative, right? A good 10x. Yeah, I believe my average is, was it above a 2? I can't remember what my average is, but I'm staking my tokens on the Nova wallet, so I'm constantly getting rewards for staking, and that way my average is automatically going down on its own. So if you're buying these tokens, you should definitely stake them. Of course, not financial advice, but just don't have your tokens laying around doing nothing when they can be making money for you. As for Polkadot, once again, I'll do a separate video for Polkadot. Can you see a $5 ADA? Yes, I think that is possible. When bull market top? September 2025. I know some people are saying it's September because usually from every halving, it takes approximately like 547 days for the bull market top. Is it 547 or is it 647? I think it's 547. So people are assuming it's going to be like September 2025 based on that. Or was it November 2025 per the calculations? But it depends. It really depends. We can't go off of previous tops and just assume the same thing is going to play out this time around. So I'd be careful holding my tokens until that specific date just because the math tells me to do that. However, there is some, truth to that. Every single time we've had a specific number of days between the halving and the bull market top for Bitcoin specifically, right? Just consider that the bull market top for Bitcoin doesn't necessarily match with the bull market top for the rest of the altcoins, because some altcoins top up before Bitcoin and some of them do that afterwards. So you can't really apply this to the altcoin market necessarily. That's something important to understand. But when we're talking about Bitcoin, yes, it's very likely the same thing could play out again. Am I going to be risking and holding all of my assets until then? No, definitely no, because I want to take profits and I want to secure the profits to have a nice payday after all these, years of accumulating and doing research and, all the sleepless nights and so on and so forth, just like you would, right? So make sure to be very careful with your targets and make sure not to listen to all these YouTubers that are talking about $200,000 to $300,000, because in the last cycle, we had a bunch of YouTubers talking about $100,000 Bitcoin, and then they flipped as if they never said that before. And then they deleted some of the videos, and then they were like, oh, well, we assumed this was going to happen all the way through. We never said 100K Bitcoin is going to happen. So be careful listening to everyone who is preaching about a 200K, 300K Bitcoin, because they're probably the ones who have all the referral links in their description. And I'm not talking about the referral links that I have in my videos, because those are just the normal referrals you get from the exchanges, which anyone can get. But the referrals that are specifically sent out to the YouTubers, right, where they make a lot of money on people who are trading leverage and who are, whatever the trade is, if they lose or win, the referee or the YouTuber still gets the money. That's very important to understand. So it's not just a sign up referral, right? It's a referral where they get money for you trading, and losing or winning money doesn't matter, or trading doesn't matter. It's as long as you deposit money, they'll be making money off of you. So be careful listening to those people. There will be a lot more of them closer to the bull market top. So it's going to be a lot easier to persuade people to, believe into this $200,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's not possible to happen. It is possible, but how likely is it? Right? You have to decide for yourself and be careful who you listen to. It's definitely good to get opinions from multiple sources and then come up with your own. But I would say if the YouTubers you're watching have these thumbnails on all the time, and they have the screaming face and Bitcoin going to 500K and so on, I would probably be careful listening to them, because most likely they're the ones who are taking money from every single company that's willing to pay them, and they'll promote whatever it is they can promote, and they'll make money, any way they can. So yeah, that's a little lesson to the newbies, so to speak, because you're going to see that, and a lot of people got burned because of that in the last cycle. So hopefully you learned something useful. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream. I want to thank you all for joining. Once again, the prices are looking very good across the board. If you're willing to, or if you have some dry powder, make sure to at least look into some of the coins that we mentioned and see if they're good to dollar cost average in based on your portfolio. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, Michael. It's always a pleasure. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another live stream. Goodbye.